Okay.
Am I out of order? Who do I?
Oh, no, that's fine. Mr. Dodaro, thank you for joining us. Thank you for your decades.
Hold on, I'm sorry, Mr. Conley. Who's next?
I think Ms. Simon is next.
Okay, sorry about that.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Ranking Member. I appreciate your testimony today, sir, and thank you as a MPA master's student a few years ago. I spent an awful lot of time reading your reports, and I really, really appreciate the level of professionalism that you've led, and thank you for your service. You know, my colleague, Mr. Frost, you talked a bit about veterans, sir, and I appreciate that. My mother served the Veteran Administration for over 35 years. You know, if you call 415-221-4810, or in Phoenix, 602-277-5511, or in Texas, 713-791-1441. We know now when veterans, mothers of veterans, partners of veterans, when they're calling, there's only 3 of many VAs in the country, folks are not going to answer the phone. On February 14th, this administration fired over 1,000 VA workers. 1,000 VA workers. So, you know, when you cut staff, you cut services. And when you cut services, these are more than just budget decisions. It's a betrayal of the American promise. Our servicemen and women deserve better. They fought in the line of fire with an understanding that when they came home, they would have efficacious health benefits, social services, mental health services. That was our promise. And it's not just in this administration that we've broken our promise. I will say that we've not done what we should have in the past and currently in the present, but to annihilate critical staff supporting critical lives of folks who dedicated their lifespan to this country. It's a betrayal of a lexicon of America First that I am hearing every single day. You know, sir, I don't have a question for you. Again, I'm thanking you. But last week, I visited an NIH-funded clinic. And I know we are not talking so much about NIH in your report. A Nobel Prize-winning scientist and physician scientists on her team and young American students have dedicated their professional careers to ending genetic diseases like sickle cell. They're there. They have a cure. The trials have gone really, really well. They're looking at moving forward treatment for ALS and for folks who have suffered from ALS and have buried your uncles and your mothers and your fathers and your cousins and your nieces. You know the devastation of that disease. For folks who are struggling themselves with dementia, you know the devastation and the whirlwind financially that your families have had to go through. This lab in Berkeley, California, has the best and the brightest scientists, and they are facing, because again, of this effort to move efficiency, a $37 million cut that will all but halt the research and send those students home. That is not fear-mongering, that is fact. So for all of the patients, those who are in the operating rooms, sitting outside waiting for your folks to come out, those folks who are care workers, sitting at home trying to figure out how you're gonna make ends meet because you can't work because your father has devastating dementia, I want us to understand what is at play. I'm not blaming anyone. What I'm saying is we're making bad decisions. Yes, we need a more efficacious government, but when you attack the sick, when you attack literally the scientists who are going to cure Americans, we're lying to the people here. Those young people, I met one young man who has dedicated his life to curing cancer. He is in that lab. He doesn't know if he's going to be able to continue. America First looks something very different than what we're purporting here today about creating an efficacious government. The last thing I will say, and I again appreciate knowing a lot about your organization, and while you don't provide direction necessarily to government departments, when they've done staff reductions, what your agency has done is guide directors to make those reductions using a process that is concurrent with evaluations, concurrent with making sure that there's deep communication, making sure that those employees have an exit plan that will not exacerbate homelessness in our communities. Thousands of workers have been laid off with no evaluation. We have not stayed true to our union contracts. We need to create a government that is efficacious and efficient, but this ain't it. Thank you so much. I yield my time.
Gentlelady yields back. Chair recognizes Mr. Fallon from Texas.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. You know, we sit here all day and we